Welcome back to part 2 of my insulated deck build. If you're just making a normal deck, you can go ahead and put your board straight on top of this. But if this is the base for a summer house or log cabin, or in my case a rabbit run, you'll want to use some PIR insulation. I'm using 100mm. I'd recommend anything from 75 to 150. Essentially, you want to cut it to fit very, very snugly in between the joists. This is called pressure fitting and it will help them stay in place. We want to keep that air gap underneath it, so you do not want these to fall down. The goal obviously with an insulated deck is to ensure that the cold from the ground does not make its way up through the floors. I used just short of 2 sheets of this PIR for my 3x2 deck. You can of course cut smaller pieces and sandwich them together, getting as an accurate a cut as you can, and use insulation tape to seal the joins. Now for a garden building base, I would usually use OSB, but have you seen the price of it these days? If I want to use this as a proper deck in the future, at least all the boards will be cut to size. Of course, when installing deck boards, some of them won't be completely straight, so you will need to pull or push them just to make sure there's an even gap all the way along. I used one of the screws as a spacer and drove in 2 screws at every joist. When installing them, always stagger your joins so they're not all on the same place. When calculating how many deck boards you need, always add 10% for wastage, something which I definitely did not do. Here's me realizing I am 3 boards short. While I'm waiting for those to be delivered, I'm just going to go in with some French Chic Alfresco paint. I think this is color Stormy. Make sure you mix it properly, not just shake it, but stir it. But I have had it in storage for a few years. It's definitely more purple than I thought it was, so I will probably end up painting over this. Stay tuned to see what other insulation I'm adding to this build, including these insulated panels, which will make up the back wall and roof.